Greetings. Welcome to the liminal voyage. There's a survival response that doesn't shout, it doesn't run, it doesn't people please. It simply disappears, not outwardly, but inwardly, into sleep, into screens, into silence. It's called the freeze response. And for many of us, it's the one we never saw coming. Freeze often wears clever disguises. We might call it laziness, or ADD, or just being unmotivated. We struggle to focus, lose time in daydreams. We turn to TV, games, scrolling, anything that lets us change the internal channel when what we're feeling becomes too much. I remember in my early 20s, I was convinced I had ADD. The forgetfulness, the zoning out, the constant pull toward distraction. I even booked in with a psychiatrist for a diagnosis. But something in me paused. I began researching the medications, and what I discovered didn't sit right. I remembered my classmates on those pills, how hollow they looked, how unpredictable they became. And I cancelled the appointment. No pills, no diagnosis, just questions. Looking back, school was where I first disappeared. I couldn't sit still, or rather, I could sit still too well, motionless, lost in thought, as the class moved on without me. Only the creative classes or physical outings lit something up inside me. The rest of the time I was elsewhere. In dreams, in stories, in movies I'd watch over and over like a ritual.
Now.
Long bouts of sleep became my refuge. When life felt too loud, too unsafe, I'd shut down. Not from apathy, but from overload. In time, I became the person who started many things and finished few. The world called it lazy. But it was really the nervous system whispering, "We're not safe yet. Let's go quiet again." The freeze response isn't failure. It's an intelligent survival strategy. One that kicks in when fighting, fleeing, or appeasing won't work. It's what animals do when capture is certain. They freeze, go still, release chemicals that dull the pain. It buys time, and maybe escape. But when the threat never clearly ends, the freeze becomes a way of life. In my later 20s, things began to shift. I became more intentional about how I used my time and what I consumed. The same internet that once numbed me started to educate me. I learned more in 2 years than in all my schooling. Not because I was suddenly cured, but because I was finally in charge of how I learned. What felt safe, what sparked curiosity. Freeze types are often misjudged as flaky, unreliable, lazy. But beneath it is a body doing its best to survive a world it never felt safe in. We're not broken, we just adapted. And now we can adapt again. If you've spent years disappearing into sleep, into silence, into screens, know that this too was a form of survival, not weakness, not failure. A wise pause when the world felt too loud. You didn't choose to freeze, but now you can choose to listen to the part of you that still wants to live, not just exist, but participate. Connect, create. There's no timeline for dissolving. No pressure to bloom overnight. Just small, honest moments of presence where you remember you were never broken, only waiting for a gentler world to arrive inside you first. Remember, the liminal space isn't a place to get stuck. It's a place to grow. Until next time.